The words you speak are the house you live in.
And with that, welcome back to episode 3 to 9 to 5 Escape.
9 to 5 Escape pod, guys. Welcome back. We're happy to have you.
And today we're getting into the root cause of suffering.
The root cause of suffering is our own thoughts and our own mindset. And that's why I say the words you speak are the house you live in, because everything that you believe is what makes your reality.
100%. If you believe, flat out forward, for me, we were talking about this, if you believe you're a loser every single day, you're gonna be a loser. It's exactly how, what do you call yourself? What do you say? What do you wake up every single day with that sort of mindset? Who are you? And what do you label yourself or identify yourself? What do you believe yourself as? If you believe and identify yourself as a loser or somebody who's unsuccessful or who is a victim, you are going to be that person. Yep. But if you label yourself and identify and believe that you're strong, that you're powerful, that you are successful, that you are loving, that you can do anything and you will become and be that person. But it all starts with your mindset. And that's why I love when Tata gets into that. The words you speak are the house you live in, because it is so true. And Tata is the person to give you all the advice about having a positive mindset, because she's the person and the girl that I look up to about having a positive mindset. And the reason I've really tried to be more positive and look at things in positive situations, because I always something negative could come in our life. A lot of things happen, and Tata always looks at the bright side. She'll always look at the positive point of view, and she always reminds me to look at the positive point of view. So I'm so thankful to have her constantly remind me and think in the positive ways.
Yeah, because it's true. Think of life as a piece of art. There's always ways to fix art and to make it even better. You can erase, you can paint over, and you can make it something beautiful at the end of the day. I think that when you go into situations with a positive mindset and the way that you look at stuff and perceive things, it makes a big difference in your life. And I think the moment that I began thinking and just truly, I find no reason to be upset, in a day. I think every day is a blessing. I wake up, I'm so lucky. I have a healthy family. I have a roof over my head. I have food on my plate. I have, everything I could ever ask for, and all the other stuff is extra. I think always that I'm going to die with nothing. So these experiences in my life and the things that I have right now are very important, and they're so meaningful, and I just feel so blessed. There's nothing to be upset about, and there's nothing to be
I love it, because you made me think, instead of thinking everything that's going wrong in your life, think of everything that's going right in your life.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking this has gone wrong today, I did this today, I stubbed my foot, I missed my lunch, I'm 5 minutes late. Think of everything that's going right in your life.
Or even if the things that go bad, here's what you do. You go, and instead of oh my God, why is this happening to me, is what is this happening? Why is this happening for me?
For me.
What is it for? I stubbed my toe. Maybe something was going to happen that it delayed me from, you know.
So only stubbed my toe. Yeah. That was something worse could have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Or let's say somebody's driving, you're driving in traffic and somebody's driving super slow. Mm-hmm. Imagine if that person was driving a little bit faster, and let's say something else could have happened, an accident or a few. It's things that I think about is okay, this is happening for a reason.
For a reason.
It's happening because, or I'm not supposed to be going faster, or I'm not supposed to be in it's stopping from something else worse happening. Yeah. There's a quote that's you don't know how many of the bad things that have saved you from even worse things that could have happened.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
Because so many worse things could have happened, and I believe even the things that do happen now, they happen for a reason, but it could have gotten much worse. And I feel so many people have it's happened in our lives, and we've seen it happen. Something bad happens, but you're but something worse. This could have played out much more worse. And I'm so thankful that it played out the way it did. Yeah, it was bad, but it could have been a lot worse.
10
So
times,
I'm
yeah.
so happy that this is how it is. But more so going into like just your perspective on yourself, on life, on everything, and your state of mind and your belief, because your belief, your identity, what you see yourself as is such an impact. Like again, how we were saying, if you believe you're a loser, you're gonna be a loser. It's how you speak to yourself. And I'm huge on affirmations and huge on speaking into who I am, like believing who I am, waking up every single day, speaking positive to myself, because I used to be super negative on myself, how we were mentioning in episode 2, like the negativity in your mindset. But more so now, I really do love and believe and stand with affirmations and waking up every single day constantly saying who I am, who you want to be. I am successful. I am powerful. I am happy. But at the same time, affirmations without discipline are a delusion, I think.
Yeah.
Because you could be saying, like, of course, you're not, if you're like not happy, you're just going to repeat yourself, oh, I'm happy, I'm happy. You're not going to be happy. You're just saying words. But if you take the action and the discipline to do certain things to line up with your affirmation, then of course you're going to play out that way.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
if you're just going to sit here every single day, like wake up every day, like, oh, I'm fit, like, oh, I'm happy, but you're not taking any action towards that, then you're just straight delusional.
I agree
So
with
you
that.
have to take action with your affirmations. But I feel like something people could do every single day, and I recommend to anybody, is just like sit down every day. I love it first thing in the morning. Just say who you are. I am this. I am that. What do you want to be? Like, who do you want to be? Who do you aspire to be?
Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Where you want to see, the speaking into existence and manifesting, or like, I wouldn't even want to say manifesting, because I just feel like manifesting sometimes sounds so like, it just sounds
I know what
so
you're
like
saying.
cringe. It sounds so
sounds
cringy to say like, I'm manifesting this, but it's
It's
more like
more
putting
so,
it out.
It's more saying believing.
Yeah.
But that's a word like manifesting, but it's not just believing.
It's like internal.
It's deeply believing.
Yeah.
Like you have to, it's literally, you feel it in your soul. Like that feeling, like, I am successful. I do deserve this life. Like, I do deserve this relationship. I do deserve this job. I do deserve this raise. And take the actions that align with it. Believe that you can do it. Say it, repeat it, and live it out every single day. And you will live it out. You will live it out.
That leads me to another topic where when you have this positive energy, the way that other people are going to look at you and the way that you enter a room is going to be so different than if you go in with a negative mindset. If you have the negative mindset, you don't, it's not, I don't want to say that you're an ugly person, but you become an ugly person. Yeah.
And it's super unattractive. Like,
if you know those people that you probably know these people that it's like, oh my God, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. But their personality or their negative energy, something just drains you like from someone else. And it's like, it makes them so ugly that you can't even see the beauty
It's not
anymore.
even from the outside. Like, you don't even see the outside. It's just like this feeling that you get from them when you're around them. That's why I feel, and not even just me speaking, I am super attracted to Tata. Tata's energy pulls me because how positive. I remember for the first time we met, she is so bright and positive, and exactly what she was saying, it's so true, because if you are more like, your energy is more, you're high energy, it's like attractive. Tata's super high energy, and it attracts people, like, and I see it a lot every time we're out in public, like it just attracts people. Like, high energy attracts. If you're like low energy, your state is low, like everything, your state really matters. And that's something that I've been like, I started seeing in myself, and like how you present yourself, how your tone, your attitude, like everything, it all matters, and it comes together because it is attractive. Yeah. I'm not just saying like in that sort of way, but it's like you attract better things in life too.
You do. You absolutely, like, the energy you put towards things comes right back. It's very much full circle, boomerang kind of moments. And when you're a positive, a good person, people want to be around that. Like, people don't want to be around people who are negative and thinking victim mentality all the time. It's where it's like, I'm so upset this is happening.
Like, it's constant complaining.
It's draining. Like, you don't want to be by people that are constantly complaining and, like, their life sucks when you see that they have so much good to be, like, it actually makes me upset, and it's sad. I know that there's a lot of people that go through it, and I've gone through it too, and I know that, like, depression is a real thing, and I like I said, I've been through that, and it took a lot to get out of it, but it really is the mindset and the way that you look at things has to change for anything else in your life to change. If you change the way you look at it, you'll change the way you feel about it. Therefore, your life will start looking better. That is huge. And I have a recommendation for anyone that has, like, gets in these ruts of these dark thoughts, and a great book, a great read. I have it here in my hand. I carry it with me everywhere. The Don't Believe Everything You Think. Don't believe everything you think. It is not true. Everything that you think does not mean that it is the reality. You create your realities, and that's what I'm saying with the way that you perceive things creates your reality. I could be sitting right here right now. My life is completely different to Melania's. We're doing the same exact thing right now. We have the same, like, everything here, the time is the same. We're in the same room, but our lives could not be any more different because of the way that I perceive my life and the way that she perceives her life, the things that I do in my life, the thing that she does in her life. So you create your reality. You create your problems. You create
100%. You create your story, your life, your beliefs, what you believe as a person. Like, I could believe other things, she could believe other things. Your beliefs create your story and your identity at the end of the day. Like, it's exactly what you believe every single day. If you're believing it one sort of way and Tata's believing another sort of way, you're going to be two different people. You're going to be two different identities. But that's why it's so important to have a positive state and to be living out a positive state. Because, like how she was saying, like, Tata's... She'll be reading out some nice quotes to you. We'll get into.
Oh yeah, we have some good quotes.
But they're awesome, and I really just believe, like, being in a positive state and not everything you think. Tata said this to me, and she was like, how you said, not your thoughts. Thinking and your thoughts were, like, two completely different things.
Thinking is different than the thoughts, because a thought is just something that naturally happens.
It just pops up.
Yeah,
randomly. We sometimes
they're passing through you.
Thoughts
like
pop
all the
up,
time,
like things, and you're like, why did I just think of that? But it's just like it's like a thought.
It's like there's nothing behind it.
There's nothing behind it. There's no reason behind it.
Yeah, no reasoning behind it. But the thought is when you are thinking. Sorry, when you're thinking is when you starting to put things behind it. Processing, yes. And when you think, like, let's say I ask a question of, like, how much money would be a good amount of money for you to be happy for the rest of your life? The number comes up pretty quick. You're not thinking too much about it. Now I say, think about that. What are the thoughts that are going through your head now? The things that you start thinking about is, like, a lot of the time people actually come up with a lot of things that are self-doubt and things like, oh, that's impossible for me to do that. Why? They're thinking about all the work that it would take to have the amount of money that they would dream of having. And they don't think about the things that are, like, they don't think about it in an attainable way. It's just, like, a dream. Like, it's not real. But why can't it be real?
I feel like also another way is, like, we have so many thoughts in our head. And I don't remember the exact number, but I read it somewhere. But it was, like, thousands of thoughts a day. But a lot of the time, they're repetitive every single day, like every day or in the same time. But the thoughts are just thoughts. Unless, like how you were saying, you start doing something. If you take that random thought and you start thinking into it, you start processing it, you start thinking deeper into it. We have a lot of thoughts in our head. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, thoughts of self-doubt, of negativity. It happens to all of us. It's not here to say, oh, we're just in perfect la la land and just be in a positive state. Like, Tata still has negative thoughts that come into her life. It's just, like, we could be sitting, like, having the best day ever, and we could, like, get a random, but you have the choice if you want to start thinking about that. You could have that thought, push it away. think about something else. Put your attention elsewhere. Process it elsewhere. We're not perfect. People don't just live like happy lives and it's all positive and sunshines and rainbows. We have negative thoughts that come into your life. I don't know why. Like, negative thoughts just come into, or self-doubt takes over, negativity, anger. That's a whole different conversation. But you get to choose if you want to think about it and how you're going to, and if you want to think about it. If you get this negative thought, are you going to let it have power over you? Are you going to let it, like, control you? You're going to start thinking about it, processing it. You get to decide.
Yeah, sometimes I have to force myself out of, like, the negative thoughts because, like, yeah, like you said,
how do you force yourself, like, out?
You know, there's some days where I look at myself and I don't feel like as pretty as I want to feel, and like, or I start
a lot of
compare
girls,
myself.
most of us, we do, yeah.
I mean, it's completely normal. I think more, I'm like, oh my God, I'm a human? Gosh, like, God forbid, like, me be a human, right? So I think about those. I try to get myself out in the way, like, you know, the way that you carry yourself. Your energy at the end of the day is, like, the thing that's going to last your lifetime. Your beauty isn't, and, like, not to say that your beauty isn't, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But, like... It's,
your energy and what's within is going to attract.
What is it within is what actually attracts people. Like I said before, with the thing where I've met people that are beautiful people on the outside. Their personality is
draining,
quite
and
shit,
sucks,
quite poopy, and it makes them ugly. It really takes away the beauty in them, and I don't look at those people the same when they, you know, when you meet people like that, you kind of are like, like,
you
beauty is only skin deep.
Like from the outside, you expected something so much more, but it's like,
beauty really is only skin deep.
But how do you like push away those negative thoughts? Like, if something like, what's a way that you would, like, if these negative thoughts come in?
Well, so I used to, like, in because a lot of people ask me, like, how I be so confident in front of people, and the one thing that I used to do, because I never actually felt confident. Like, I've always been, like, very scared. Very scared in front of people.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it. I do get, like, scared of being in front of people. Like, a lot of people, I'm very, like, I used to be very shy, and I mean, I've always been outgoing, but shy in the way that, like, I really have to force myself.
But you don't see that. Like, yes. Tata, that's the definition of fake it till you make it.
In my head, I'm constantly saying, you're confident, be confident. Like I'm repeating it over and over. When I would walk in the high school, like, think about this. The most intimidating thing for me was walking in a hallway in high school, was walking the hallway when people were sitting on the floor and just, like, staring at you, and you're, like, by yourself. You know, kind of thing. It's like you're walking on a runway a little bit, but all you think is, like, I'm confident, and, like, keep your head up and just walk and kind of, like, strut your stuff regardless. I also am, like, super about being the weirdest person in the room so that other people feel more comfortable to be themselves. And I think that is something, like, with Run Club, like, I'll do it, I'll make jokes, I'll be weird, I'll say the weird stuff so that everyone else can feel like it's okay to do and be who you want to be and how you want to be, because the reality is everyone's a little weird. Like, come on.
We all have a weird side of us.
Yeah, like, we can't pretend that we're not all weird. Like, I'm a weird, goofy girl, like, and I say weird stuff. I love to make things awkward. I love to be cringy, and I love to, like, I don't know, but I like, when I do that, I just notice that it kind of brings everyone down a little bit.
No, that being able to open up and be more, like, weird and show your weird side, it gets other people to open up and show themselves.
Like, you're personable. Exactly. Like, it's like, oh, you being relatable to other people, or like, oh my God, like, that girl's kind of weird, but, like, I'm like that kind of too, and then people feel more...
And they feel like you get this warm feeling in your heart, like, you could open up towards them. It's just like, and again, you become more attracted to those kinds of people. So that's why, like, Tata, like, draws me. She's attractive. She pulls her energy. Like, high positive energy attracts.
It does.
It does attract. And, like, again, that's, like, her tip, how she was saying, I am confident, I am confident. That's the same way. If you repeat and you believe every single day, again, with like the affirmations or like not affirmations, believing, whatever you want to call it, every single day, I am this. Who are you? Wake up every single day, and this is something that I do, and I stand with it, and I believe with it. Write down your top 5, your top 10, if there's 15, whatever. I am successful. I deserve this. I am loving. I am this. I am that. I am that. And repeat it. Believe it every single day. Even if you don't feel like it in the moment, you don't feel beautiful, whatever. Repeat it. Maybe Tata, she wasn't confident when she was walking in those like situations certain times, but you have to sometimes trick your mind into it. Even if you're not feeling it, just push it on. Keep repeating it.
Do you ever feel like you've gone through like you say like is your thing that you would have to get out of? Like if you were not, do you feel confident all the time? Like what do you think is like your worst?
100%. Not
your
kryptonite
confident when it comes to
not confident. Like more so if I'm getting like, I feel like so many people, it's like, oh, are people staring at me right now? Am I like, how do I look like from the other person's point of view? Like I always think about how I look from the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
And I just get in my own head about it. But sometimes I do struggle with just getting in my head, and confidence again is a huge thing. Like exactly.
See, I would
how
never know though, because like when I look at Mel, like the way Mel carries herself is so like, it's literally exudes confidence to me. Like her shoulders back, head up, like literally model walk. Like when I look at her, I'm like, yo, I'm the hunchback of Notre Dame over here. Like, girl, no, because you're literally like perfectly like sitting up. I'm like, okay, hold on, let me fix my, because she be reminding me.
But see,
I gotta be like,
that's what I'm saying. You see how we relate to each other? Like, I would have like. Sometimes hot tub could be, I could, like, the way I present myself, or if I'm in my head, I could be struggling, and you won't know. But it is literally fake it till you make it, even if I don't believe it sometimes. Like, I could be, like, not at my best state right now, but I will present myself, and I'll be in a positive state, and Tata will look at me like I am confident, but in the moment, I might not be. You don't know, again,
like, we really don't know what's going on in people's heads,
so
and if you don't show it.
Know how other people are in, like, what's going on with them. But that literally proves exactly how I see Tata. And that's the truth.
It's like putting what your internal thought, like if everyone saw what my internal thoughts were, or like what's going on inside my head.
Exactly.
And versus what they see on the outside, then it would be like two completely different people probably.
Exactly. So you like, just have to believe it. Like believe it in you. Even if you don't feel like it. Like I struggle with this, I struggle with that. People are like, there's no way you struggle with that. I do. But I tell myself, and I'm believing it deep down, that I am this person. I am strong. I am successful. I am positive. I do deserve this life. I deserve everything that is happening for me. I deserve all of the good. I believe that deep down. So it's like you have to feed into your mind, because your mind is the most powerful thing. Yeah. And I also heard this. Your mind is the biggest prison to break out of. And it is like oh
my gosh, wait, that's crazy.
It is the biggest prison to break out of. Like your mind, you get to choose. Is it a prison? Like I used to think, like, again, super negative. I used to think so negatively about so many things, everything about myself, about everything around me. And I only saw the bad, the bad, the bad, the bad, the bad. It was like a prison in my mind. I was like trapped in my own mind. And your mind could be the biggest prison, but you have to break out of it. And it's the hardest thing.
You go like this, ready? Prison to paradise. Prison to paradise. Take your mindset, that prison mindset, and turn it into a paradise. Like
where
your life
flourish.
Is good.
Yes, where life thoughts flourish.
Think about this. There's like a specific number. I don't know the number off the top of my head of how many people that don't live, okay? They don't live. Everyone dies. That's the truth. We all die, right? Life is that. We are lucky to be here on this earth, and we're lucky to be able to like wake up, do the things that we do. If you look at life in the aspect of this can be rare for somebody else. Like, while I'm here able to move my body, somebody's in a hospital. While I'm out there running, being able to run, some people are not able to, like, even walk. While I'm eating really good food, some people don't have food on their table. While I'm able to sit here in this podcast and do this, a lot of people are, like, not able to do anything close
Or they
to
don't
this.
even have technology.
They don't have to, yeah, exactly. They don't even have internet, whatever. We are so blessed to have the
look
things
around you. There's
the things that we have.
Don't focus again, like, instead of looking at all the bad, look at all the good, look at all the right, what's going on in your life. The things that you were praying for, manifesting a year from now that you have, you probably even forgot that you already have it. And I feel like sometimes we're so stuck of looking into the future, we forget we might be living right now exactly where we wanted to be a year ago. Like, a year ago, you were praying for this life right now, but, like, take a moment to realize the good and the, like, how grateful and blessed you are to have what you have right now. Like, so many people are like, oh, everything is going wrong. Think of everything that's going right. Think of everything that you have, because I promise you, there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. And again, it's like making that switch in your mindset. It's how you see good things. You have to make the switch. It's that switch that you make, and then everything you see, who you are, your life, your story, your identity, everything changes once you make that negative to positive switch.
I always think about, like, when I have an issue that's going on, like a personal problem or like a work problem, or, oh, I have so much to do, I have all this, that these were the problems that I was praying for back then. And I always say, these are the problems I prayed for. Like, this is the best problem I could ever have. Because back then, I didn't have this problem, but I also have 50,000 more things than I, like, more success and more happiness and more everything that I had before, because I've accomplished so much more in the time. And then also that you can't complain about the food that's on your plate, like having too much food on your plate, because you wanted it. That's what you wanted. So when you have all these things going on and you know, work this, and you have kids, and you have to pay these bills, and you have this, and you have student loan debt or whatever, you asked for that food on your plate, and now you can't complain. You just have to eat it and, you know, work through that, because those are the things that you asked for.
And I also believe, like, you choose your problems and you decide what problems you want to struggle with. At the end of the day, we're all going to have problems. Every person is going to have problems. What kind of problems do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with the problem of your relationship? Do you want to deal with the problem of being overweight? Or do you want to deal with the problem of having too many clients that you're so busy? Do you want to deal with the problem of, I don't know, the problem of not getting food on the table? Or do you want to deal with the problem of
having, okay, you have to work every single day because you have to pay for bills, or you have to, you know, like, there's things, and then you have to figure out the solution
and
for
it's
it.
Every person chooses your problem, but what problems do you want to live with?
Yeah.
What problems are you okay with living with? Like, there are problems that I'm okay with living with because I love the life that I live. And life, yeah, we're always going to have problems. Life comes with problems, but it's what problems you decide to have into your life and what problems you want to deal with. But then also that's getting into victim mentality. How we were talking about victim mentality in that quote that you mentioned to me.
So people convince themselves there is always something wrong than to convince themselves there is something right. That we would rather convince ourselves that there is something wrong because it is easy, it's comfortable, it's what we're used to. Convincing ourselves that there's something wrong, everything, oh, it's bad, it's wrong. But instead of doing that, why are we not trying to convince ourselves that it's right, that it's good, that it's something that's going to help us, that it's something that's like where we're going to grow? If you keep looking at things like the bad and taking victim mentality and putting it in the negative, you end up being a victim
and victimizing yourself. You're doing it to yourself.
Exactly. When, like, I don't want to go too deep into, like, victims of things, but it's just like the constant of, oh, this happened to me, or this is what's going on. and now I can't grow because of it. Like, it stops you from actually reaching a potential of something that you could be doing or could be, because you've kept this in the, oh, I've gone through this, so now I'm like this person.
Yeah,
I
you're
am
giving
this.
yourself like this limit, like I can't be successful
Because I
can't
went through
be
this.
happy because this person cheated on me. I can't be happy anymore. I'm gonna be depressed I can't
for
meet
the
new
rest of my
people.
life, like-
I can't meet new people because this person treated me so bad. And I'm always gonna remind myself about this person, this problem, and this victim, and I'm a victim, and this is why I'm sad, this is why I'm depressed. No, are you really gonna be a victim for the rest of your life and have this victim mentality because of someone else, because someone else did something? Boo-hoo. Move on. A lot of things happen. I understand. Yes, there are certain situations, like a lot of people go through worse things as a victim. I understand. But you decide how you move forward from it. Do you want to be a victim and stay sad and stay depressed and stay complaining and stay negative and drain your full life about because of this situation, this problem, this person, how they treated you? Or do you want to grow and flourish and learn from it and just move on, because you could become such a better person? And I had a victim mentality a year and a half, 2 years ago, because of something that happened in my life and how I got treated. And I was just blaming this person, blaming the situation, blaming that relationship, that part of my life. And I was just victimizing myself. And I stayed in that rut. I stayed in that hole. I stayed in that negativity mindset, and things were going wrong. I stayed in that negative state. But once I made this switch in my mindset, I'm not a victim. I'm gonna move on with my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to take the next steps, because that's not a part of my life anymore. And I'm gonna move forward from it, and I'm gonna learn from it. Instead of looking at everything that went wrong in that situation and what you lost in that situation, look at the opportunities and what you gained and what you learned from it, because moving forward, your life is going to be so much better. You could either be a victim and stay sad, depressed, or you can flourish from the situations that happen in your life.
To me, it's kind of like a checklist where you just know what you want and what you don't want anymore. And you're visualizing it. You get to go through the experience. It's the same way as if your parents tell you something like, oh, you shouldn't do this because I did it and it went wrong. And a lot of the time we end up doing it because we have to go through it ourselves to know. I agree. 100%. And it's like, it is true. Like, sometimes you do have to go through like these struggles and all these things just to actually learn something from yourself. It. And you learn yourself, learn more about yourself, what you want, what you don't want. You grow as a person through those things, like hardships. They make us stronger people, especially with like let's say cheating and stuff. People like lose trust in people if they've gotten cheated on. They think that every person is the same and this and that. That's like a really bad way to look at things, because if you keep looking at what one person did to you or one situation did to you, and you look at everything and assume everything else is going to be the same, you're kind of doing it to yourself. Not everybody is the same. Not everyone's going to treat you like shit, or not everyone's going to do something wrong to you. And you kind of just have to trust in yourself and who you are as a person, learn who you are as a person, and get through those situations by basically like trying again. You try again.
Like, don't let just because like this person treated you this way, don't believe that everybody else can do that. Don't think, lock yourself.
All men are bad because one guy cheated on you. It's like, I know good men.
Yeah,
I know some good men.
Don't give yourself that mindset.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's your perspective on how you're thinking, and like, you decide if you want to be thinking negative or positive, and it's that controls everything. And that is, to me, like the root cause of suffering. It's like how you believe things, like how you believe like the problems. And I think how Tata was saying, like how life comes across like problems, whatever. I think that's the beauty of it, is like learning from the problems, like how our parents can tell us like, don't do this, I did this, and blah blah blah. But so what? They told me that. I'm gonna have to learn it myself, because I'd much rather would learn it myself, because I'm happy I went through this problem. Even though it really hurt me, like 2 years ago, this really hurt me, I would never not miss up that hurt because of it made me who I am today. It built me who I am today. It is the reason I am where I am today. It is the reason I have the mentality where I am today. And even though it hurt me so bad 2 years ago, the situation, whatever was going on in my life, I was able to move on and grow from it. And I would not take it back. I'm so happy that I went through that. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy that I went through these problems because I was able to learn and flourish from it. But you get to decide. It is up to you how you move forward from it.
Facts.
Said right.
100%.
Said right.
Said right. With all that being said, everything that we've gone through, I mean, we talk a lot about this mindset and positivity and, this motivational stuff. And we hope that it does resonate with some of you guys. And maybe, like, I know that a lot of people go through, like, these problems every day, but it
makes you start thinking.
Yeah, you have to start thinking about these things. And even in, like, the moments, like, every, like, situation in your life, even the small situations, or, like, when you are out, look at other people and see, like, kind of, like, imagine, like, okay, you really don't know what's going on in someone else's life. Mm-hmm. So you can look at that person and think, like, oh my God, that person looks so happy. But you really don't know what's going on behind the doors. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's happening. But remember that the positive energy and the mindset that you have will exude through you, and you can be someone who has a really good aura. And it's important to stay positive, and it is important to think positive, and it is important to live with good energy and try and bring people into your life that have good energy and surround yourself with good energy, because it all ends up coming together. You're going to have the good stuff happen to you.
You are the reason. You are behind your root cause of suffering. And, like, if you're going to be in a positive state, you're going to have a positive story, a positive life, and a positive belief, a positive identity. But if you're going to have the negative state, negative mindset, victim mentality, whatever, and you are going to have that root cause of suffering. That is your root cause of suffering. If you're suffering, whatever, you could blame it on whoever you want. It is your fault. It is up to you. You get to decide how you move on from it. Yeah, that person, you can't control other people's actions. You can control how you move on from it. Mm-hmm. You get to decide if you want to suffer and be a victim or move on. And if you're suffering right now, if you're in this rut, in this whatever, you can change that. No one else can change it for you. Just because Tata could tell me, Melanie, go be happy, I'm not going to go be happy. It starts within your mindset and who you are. Mm-hmm. And that is, to me, the root cause of suffering.
Absolutely. And remember that you're not in the wrong place. You just have the wrong mindset, because every place can be a beautiful place if you look at it in a beautiful way. So I love that. I think we should end it like that, right?
That's a wrap for episode 3. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
In the next one, yeah.
Bye.